Hello everyone, I'm MePhone4 and I'm Son of Beast, and this is NBA2k23 on 2K Sports. Hello everyone, Son of Beast here, and we're back for you for another part of the NBA 2K23 with MePhone. That's right. This next game is about to happen here, as we're about to be seeing the rematch in between. Since Season 2, the Rockets already destroyed the Bulls here with a better game with this ability run score by James Harden, Chris Paul, and Eric Gordon. So far, however, everything has changed with only Eric Gordon left. There's only one of each players that hadn't played him with the Rockets before. And that could be a difference to take everything else to do with another one. Now this time, the Chicago Bulls are playing at Toyota Center at Houston to play against the Rockets. This matchup is about to be happening things with a revisit here in between by the visiting teams in between from each row. If you have seen the Season 2 one of the Bulls and the Rockets, go ahead and click up the calling card info to go check it out. Now, for instance, here are the starting lineups for the Chicago Bulls. We have Ayu Dosunmu, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic, which are the three players that are here for the dynamic trio of Zach, DeMar, and Nikola. Here on the other side for the Houston Rockets, we have is Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. Now it's time to send you over to the Toyota Center for tonight's presentation of the NBA 2K23. We'll be back here for the halftime show and with the postgame show of how they did. Let's get going, team. Welcome to the Toyota Center, and man, this sure is filled back here for this game. Since for many seasons, we got a new city court. Exactly true. Along with me and this guy, that's Riley.
Jalen Green grew up in Fresno, California, and in high school tournaments he said, quote, nobody knew where Fresno was or how hard it is. They think it's some nice little city, but really it's not. It's crazy out there, but my support system kept me from trouble and just locked in. Brian?
Thank you so much, Sir Ali. We appreciate you. With the starting of this matchup, we're about to see what is going to happen now. The starting key matchups in between of Zach LaVine and Jalen Green. One thing to keep an eye on for sure, that Jalen Green is very impossible man to try to go right for the head. In between the zones, the attackers, he's got to be keeping an eye on that one. Without John Wall, this will be the ultimate game that will be happening here for tonight. False tip, and with the Rockets, they win the tip-off here, and we start down. Here's Porter Jr., he'll be starting up as they filled up and ready to go. Green against LaVine, and it's Gordon on DeRozan. And it's Dosunmu up the other hand here from the other player of here for Smith Jr. Then across from here we have his Vucevic covered up here by Sengun. And with the cross here, DeMar DeRozan really got a great stability after playing with the San Antonio Spurs. He wasn't able to start playing here as well. And that's because he was definitely going to try to keep an eyes on his carriage. But it didn't seem like he was never going to try to prove his score. They tried to take him over and then claim it out. So at that point, he had no choice when he went out of here too soon. Smith Jr. is coming up by Williams. He finds Green, and assist comes up by Smith Jr. He has his first assist here. They're up on 2. The 2 is just ahead of the point of the lead. They need that one. LaVine finding over on Dosunmu. Lifts over to Vucevic. Now he goes right over to DeRozan. DeRozan scurries it out, finds LaVine. After a Sunday win against the Golden State Warriors, Nikola Vucevic has 54 points this game. Total careers are turning out to be just impossible. However he does, I guess he's really well on that one. He's trying to keep an eyes on the prime. He's very well at that point, if you know that one. LaVine back to DeRozan. Shoots over Gordon. Layup drive short and no good. Smith Jr. reaches another rebound here for the Rockets. Here's Gordon. Finding a look. Smith Jr. Foul. Count the bucket and one. That's Williams with the first foul on Chicago. And with the first bucket and this drive, turned out to be Smith Jr. Yeah, that's a great pass by Aaron Gordon. He really got a great look at that one to Smith Jr. He's really like picking up his pace, and he got a good one to carry. Smith Jr. is at the line shooting one as the Houston Rockets have their first ability for their free throw percentage. First free throw is in. Chicago trailing by 5. Make new change on offense. This time he finds Williams. Back to LaVine. Moving the ball quickly to Dosunmu. With a drive, and he's fouled. That's on Porter Jr. with his first personal. That will be their first team foul for Houston. Dosunmu was lifting up a drive. He wants to get right over it. And he didn't really try to move it home. His movement ability can turn out the luck. Another free throw coming up here for the Houston Rockets as they will be having the first ones coming up for Chicago. After a free throw for Houston, now it's Dosunmu's turn to take a free throw time. First free throw sent in. We talked about Dosunmu this game. He was well performed out there. Your team made it to the playoffs there last time, but they were unable to compete, however, to make the playoff win against the Boston Celtics. They're a really good team. I'm telling you this one why? Because the Boston Celtics got a great franchise player record that I always have picking up the pace. I'm seeing things that Houston Rockets could be a little bit disappointment out there. Without James Harden, without Chris Paul, it's going to be very tough to try to keep an eye on them. They might be looking for somebody else that they can help. Green covered by LaVine. 6 on the shot clock. With the fade, Sagan up. A 2. Short on the carry, and it's Williams with the rebound. He has his first rebound here in the game. It is still a 7-4 lead for the Houston Rockets. Here's LaVine outside. Moving in front. Take a shot down the diving traffic here, and LaVine has 2. He's on the board right now. Now they're trailing. Porter Jr. finds Green. Green dish back to Porter Jr. Block the pass. What a Dosunmu play to reject the pass out from the other hand. First turnover for Houston, and they got a good stack ability to have that block pass. Turnovers are great. Look at that play. What an excellent move for Dosunmu. Williams can't make the free for a layup. Gordon to Green for 3. Good outside the range. It is up for the first 3-pointer of the game. First timeout has been called by Chicago with 2:19 left to go. A 10-6 game, up by 4. They're sure to keep an eye on that one here. Look at that. Their playables are just going to be a tough ones to make the score. I'm telling you this one why they're Son of Beast, because there is no way to keep things safe and rocky run. Of course, you may have always known that the Houston Rockets would be able to be seeing the franchise players to come back to the team. We're finding out if they can try to keep up their range, to try to take them over, and probably, however, there could be De'Aaron Fox, LeBron James, which will not be usually concluded here. Maybe somebody else, Joe Harris, or probably, of course, you know, the one and only player that was never seen before, John Wall. He would have been able to be returned to the game. However, this really has turned out, it didn't work for him. Well, let's talk about this one. It looks like that John Wall was missing a couple of games. Now and forever, well, this really is going to be a lot tough to find out if they can try to keep it back in there. Here are some new changes here for the Bulls and for the Rockets, as a couple players are checked out. LaVine, Gossman, Williams, Vucevic are checked out. Dragic, Caruso, Bradley, and Drummond are checked in. Quite a steal by Christopher. New changes are also coming up here for the Houston Rockets also. Rejected by Bradley, but put back for Martin Jr. Put today. And to talk about that one here, it looks like that Tate Jr. was able to try to hit that float. They've got a lot of it to cover it up. Looking over to Rosen, up to Drummond. Drummond up. Looking over, finding Bradley. Over to 2. Rebound and able to make the dunk play. He lost it and couldn't see where it was going. That's tough once go by. Christopher makes the first bucket here, and he has the first 2 pointers of the game. 14-6 run score. They're trailing by 8. Drummond up. It's a scoring contact drive. That goes to Dragic with the assist. Nice move here. Drummond looking very comfortable. That was a good take here for the drive. It might be too much to give that one an opportunity to run. Matthews coming back Caruso. Back to Christopher to Dragic. Last minute to play in the first period. Free for Karubin. First 3-pointer can't make the throw. DeRozan looks over. Caruso, wide open look. And he put it in there. That goes up with the first 3-pointer for Alex Caruso. A good assist here by Drummond. That's really well plays out there. I'm seeing that Alex Caruso never really want to count on with the Lakers. But he did seemingly like he was going to pick it up here for the Bulls. Hopefully they can keep him for good. Martin Jr. finds Matthews for 3. Unable to make a 3-pointer, another miss by Houston. Here's Drummond, covered up by Dragic. Dragic around him. Nice drive, but unable to make the 2-pointer connection. Tate on Bradley. 5 seconds to shoot. Layup is good. Caruso back the other way. Launching this canyon. And that ends the first quarter. 16-11, great start for the Rockets to pick it up. And we'll be right back after this break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. And we are about to be heading into the second quarter as the 16-11 score was the Houston Rockets. They're up by 5. They're talking about this one in the last couple games here of how well they have done. But however this comes out, only the couple world champions in 1993 to 1994 and 1994 to 95. They are definitely really well enough to make that one as a world champion stars. But they're not really compatible here, as we also call for the best player on earth, Yao Ming. Yao Ming, a Chinese player. I've seen this was a very good guy. I'm seeing things. You could also see a number of Chinese guys. Looks like one of our guys are definitely doing really well here for the world and for the Chinese people that live in Europe. Also stay strong. Thanks to Tate Jr. here with the drive. Here's White, a veteran player here from University of North Carolina. They replace him for Michael Jordan. I know this calls for him. I'd like to hear that one. But to tell you without everything to know about Kobe White, he's like a good start. Hoping we can give him an eyes catch on. Over Green. Kobe can't hit the 2-pointer. Easing over to Smith Jr. Smith up. Rebounded by Vucevic. He's got number 3 in a row here for the rebounds. Now here's LaVine outside. LaVine heads the screen. LaVine up. Takes a shot, bucket and 1. Fernando is fouled. As right now, the Houston Rockets have a second team foul. And LaVine on the line for 1. Replacing from Dragic will be a determination. Back to Dawson. LaVine is at the line for 1. And Fernando is checked out. Backing in is Sengun. Free throw can't hit. Here's the Rockets now on the other hand. Porter Jr. on Dawson. Looking for somebody. Dawson. And he's fouled with a reach. Just stop the clock here for 4:34 left. Amazing mobile one of this one. Look at that block for Bradley. Bradley seems to be doing what he does. Hit the rim. I mean, come on, man. You really got to show what Bradley's going to do. He keeps an eye on his focus. Green on White. Eason in the paint. And foul it goes. Jones Jr. picks up his first personal second team foul in Chicago. And another free throw coming up for Houston Rockets. Eason was delivering it. You would have seen that going. But that foul was like a pick. Was pinched out. It's not going to be helping enough to try to keep the score up from running. He hits the first free throw. And he delivers it with 2 free throws at the line. Here's Dawsonu. The team is shown by 7. LaVine decided to go for 3. LaVine hypes it up. And Vucevic is up here to save a rebound. Back to Jones Jr. With the fade around him. Good play make as Jones Jr. picks up his first bucket. That play was definitely intense out there. The double defender, I mean, no question. But a single defender, no problem at all. Dawson was covered up by Porter Jr. with under 4 minutes to play here in the first half of the game. Screen on Sengun. Looks inside. Wow! Jones Jr. deflected out. And it stays alive for the Rockets ball. That play was like a tough one to lose. What a play. Jones Jr. is checked out. And checking in right now is Williams. Also making new changes for the Rockets as well. Gordon is checked back in. LaVine stepped out of bounds. Gordon for 3. Unable to make a three-pointer connection to buzz the beater. That's tough when shots going to count that. But it may not be enough for them to try to keep it over. LaVine finds White, up and over. Nice steam movement here by Jalen Green. He has his rebound back, now puts it over again. He's really on a tough breaker. Rebound back again. And it's taken away by Williams. Another turnover on Houston. LaVine around him. Slam it down. Quiet slam out there for the Rockets. Oh boy. LaVine, are you kidding me? He's lifting up here. Lewis tight. What a play. That was your most replay ever of Zach LaVine, presented by AT&T, the 5G Slam Cam. Gordon on LaVine. Blocked it out. Gordon trying to find an our way. Smith Jr. up. Picks a 2-shot, and then LaVine trying to get over it again. And what a play made here for Eric Gordon with the assist. Well done. finds LaVine. Vucevic trying to help out with the screen. Looking in the middle, and it's his turn. LaVine dish off to Vucevic, gives him a one-hand dunk. He's got his first bucket. I seen that one. How can you do this one here, LaVine? To Vucevic. Second, over to Gordon. Back to second, free up. Unable to make the three-pointer connection for the Houston Rockets. We're out 2 minutes remaining here in the first half of the game. The 22-19 score run. Here's Williams. Fade with the shot. Back to White. Here he goes with up, and he's fouled. That's Sengun with the first foul. Second team foul on Houston. That will be the first look here for Kobe White to hit the free throw line. Kobe White seems like he's okay, but the Sengun was, ouch. That was too hard. It didn't really bother him to try to like slip him out of the points. 2 free throws are coming up here for Kobe White, as he wasn't able to try to make his game as of his most career since back at the college basketball team of the Tar Heels of North Carolina. You might be looking for another way. Hopefully that Michael Jordan can find out if Kobe White sticks with this team. First free throw is good for White. Now new change-up are coming in for the Bulls, as a couple players are checked out. Caruso, DeRozan, Bradley, and Drummond are checked in. The Rockets are also making some changes here. 5 players are checked out. Christopher Gordon, Martin Jr., Tate, and Garuba are checked in. He's good on the second free throw. That will be 2 bucket score on the free throw line for Kobe White. It is a 1-point game. Now Gordon outside. Looks over to Martin Jr. Looking it over on DeRozan. 3-pointer. They get it back. Tate scoops a nice reverse drive. And that gives him a first look at a replay of the great scores here for the reverse drive. He is well phased out. What a play movement. Caruso with the ball. 3 for White. Short. Unable to make a three-pointer for Kobe White. Gordon sending out for 3. He didn't have the right moment out there. That was missed again. DeRozan fades, finds Drummond outside. The new change-up for the screen coming in. Finds Bradley. 2-pointer, excellent feed work here for Drummond with the assist. That gives him a good timing ability. Here's Christopher. Goes right to Martin Jr. Martin Jr. finds Tate. Tate on Bradley. Move inside. Martin Jr. for 3. That's missed out as Drummond has his 3rd rebound. He's given it up for a great early success of the run, but trying to concentrate there more. They have to try to stick it together. They need to find something else to make it quick. DeRozan back over to White. Shot clock down to 5. Bradley. 3 for Caruso. And they get the team up in a lead to close the first half. Caruso, second three-pointer of the night. Well done out there for Caruso. He's looking big. That ends the first half, 26-24. An excellent play for Alex Caruso. And we'll take a break here when we come back. I know you were enjoying the first half, but let's have a look here for the first half, the recap of Rockets and Bulls. With a good first half of the quarter, the Rockets are streaking out. Definitely the best thing that nobody has ever done by Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, and finally, on the other hand, Alex Caruso. And the Bulls are seemingly taking a lot of time ability. Hoping there's another way to get this right back around, but hopefully they might find another way to get over it. And I'm seeing things, there's so much baskets out there, making it going back-to-back insane scores. And hopefully on that one, we'll have to see if one of each teams can win. after season 2 with the Rockets victory. Hopefully there might be another one too. And that's going to do it. And I'll send you back over to Toyota Center with Son and Beast and me. See you guys later. And we welcome you back at the Toyota Center. We're about to start the third quarter. Rockets turning out to be a strong quarters here in the first period, but the Bulls are back in again for the close out in the first half. And talk about Zach LaVine, 8 points, 1 rebound, and assist. How does it turn out here, Miko? Zach LaVine really was able to try to lift it off the spirit that he was giving things off. Probably the moment of time, he might be giving it up to another players in the streaking run. That could be another way to try to take it back in there and just show it how it goes. We start the third quarter as we have you back with us today. We get started right now. And 5 players are back on the board. Vucevic got a nice drive here for the Bulls. They're giving it off strong. A mobile 1 drive. Here's Porter. Dish off to Gordon. DeRozan still surveying the D. Eric Gordon trying to find room on offense. Looks over to Green for 2. Another miss by Houston Rockets. And you tell about that one here. It looks like that LaVine was able to try to keep it still. They got a lot of tough ones out there. They need something help to get that one a quick word out of them. LaVine step back. No good on the target range as he's Gordon with the rebound. Gordon finds over to Porter Jr. Back to Gordon. Screen on Green. With the shot. Tight D. Nice rebound for DeRozan. DeRozan's got his first rebound here in the game. And now he's looking for another way to get back on offense. Tough ones really matter. There might be so much to give it tonight with the true story that they need to pick up. LaVine stepping. Oh my goodness! LaVine! A step mover! He's lifting up boards, says, watch this move. You have to see it like I did. That was like a tough spot. I can't believe that LaVine was already looking it up. Watch out for this guy. Foul goes on to DeRozan. And Porter Jr.'s at the free throw line shooting 2. There are going to be another ones going up here for the offensive run. Kevin Porter Jr. really hasn't shown himself off, importantly, and he wants to give things another look at the run. Hopefully that Porter Jr. might go well with the fine look. Free throws are coming up here for another change up here for the Houston Rockets. They're trying to make an answer back and try to keep them up the range. Free throws set in. And Kevin Porter Jr. really got a great deliberation out there. He seems like he was really on a hard stretcher. Really well to phase out. And with the tougher teams, they were just really that strong and competitive. But they're not really well enough that they can try to keep it over with and try to lift it from the board. How does it really take with Kevin Porter Jr. to keep it over? Well, they're saying that Porter Jr. really has to show what he's all about. He's not really well trying to engage with what the players are all looking for. And there might be too much to give out on a call. I mean, they're off the limit. They got to find something else if they're looking for another players to try to keep the offensive inbound. LaVine up for the 2. In and out. That's rebounded by Eason. Eason up to Fernando. Fernando makes a layup. And that brings up with the assist. That's going to be a lift-off call. And I'm better to say Big Willie needs something else. With the Vucevic help. Drive in. Nice see by Fernando. He's got his first rebound in this game. He's really well. Trying to fix him up there straight. Alley-oop, unsuccessful for the Houston Rockets. Oh boy, he is lipped off too hard. Nice try, but no words of the cigar. Really neat. Green with the steal. Turnover on the Chicago Bulls. Ease it up. Makes a good layup drive. Ties the game. With LaVine with the ball. He goes right to Jokic. Jokic over to Jones Jr. Jones Jr. back over to LaVine. Looks over to DeRozan. Fades. Free for LaVine. And no three-pointer connection good for outside the mark. Now looks over again. Eason finds Fernando. Rear the putback. And Fernando delivers it again and gets the team up front. It's a 32-30 game. 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. They gotta get over it. DeRozan outside, going inside. Jones Jr. up in the layup. That's good. Jones Jr. has it back. And they're not done with this yet. They still gotta keep fighting to get over it. The timeout has been called out by Houston Rockets. They will have an early discussion to figure out the plan on offense. With a minute and 40 to go, it's a tie game. Now, with the most of it, the encouragement of the teams, they're well on this book on the meetings of the successful how they have done. With most plays this game, they seem to be coming up here a lot of losses here this game for the Bulls. And with the Rockets, with the win, they've already been faced out with tough teams about. How does it really take up here with a couple of players trying to pick them up with a run? I'm pretty concerning of which players are going right for the biggest to better. Well, there may be another way that they can try to keep it over the range. And with Houston Rockets, they already beat the Bulls here in season 2. It was an 89-41 score. Oh boy, that's like the biggest score change I've ever seen yet here from a different channel that nobody has ever seen this guy popping up here in Bob. It's tough one to be inbound here, but I totally can't remember this one. But now you all know this was a tough one to be released out. We gotta take a note to try to share the words out there. New change-ups are coming up here for the Houston Rockets and the Bulls. As right now, LaVine, Jones Jr., and Vucevic are checked out. Bradley, Drummond, and Caruso are checked in. The Rockets are also making new changes here. 5 players are checked out. 5 players are checked in. Drummond, what a finish move after a steal. He picked up his first bucket and he's on the board. Well, he's now going to deliver it. Enough being quiet, he's on the board. Chicago also stats here with 3 steals and 2 blocks. How does it turn out to be where the players to block that goal? Well, they're really well to take enough a good crack out of it. I mean, they're really well. But I'm seeing things too much completely off. Rockets over to DeRozan. Caruso for 3. He is wide open, no problem on the look. Hushed the crowd with a silent. He has 9 points. Up in lead, can you never see? I can never really tell that Caruso was out there. Offensive 3-second is called on the Rockets. It is turned over to the Chicago ball. Christopher is checked out as Gordon is checked in. A tremendous block of the game of Jones Jr. Looks like that Jones Jr. really has some good confidence about them. You know he can try to block it off. Here's Drummond on the other hand. We're past 40 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Looks to DeRozan. DeRozan finds over Bradley. Layup, counted and drive is good for Bradley. As Tate has picked up his foul. Next team foul was again on the Rockets with under 30 seconds. And right now the Bulls are picking up 1 free throws in this game. And another changeup for the Rockets. Ascendon is checked back in. I'm seeing that Bradley may be going in between the lineup against the zone. Strategy really needs the key. Bradley making an unable with just only 2 buckets in the drive. Gordon over to Rosen. Rosen didn't see what Gordon was going through, and he's got a bucket back. They're down by 3. They are looking over it. They're trying to keep the pressure out of it. Caruso back outside. Has got 9 points this game. 10 seconds left. Here's Dragic. Looks up. No good. And that ends the third quarter. It's tight game, 39-36. The Bulls in the lead by 3. And we have 1 more quarter left to play. Who will it be for the rematch? Bulls or the Rockets? Stay tuned. 4th quarter is up next after this. And now let's have a look at the head coach with the interview of how they did with the team.
Don't let him back your way in. Just hold your ground. The other thing, too, is once he picks the ball up, he's not going to shoot it. If he does, just stay down on him.
Looks like that Billy Donovan is really trying to lift this up on the board. Trying to keep the teams out there. Trying to look for the guards. Guards just trying to get over it. They really got a lot of players that they can try to go for it in between their own. Hopefully Billy Donovan can try to look for the other players to look out for. He's got to find another way. 3-pointer no good for Porter Jr. as the 4th quarter has already started. 3 quarters are completed. We got the final quarter left to go. Vucevic. Caruso again. And a 3-pointer is no match. That ends it up here for just 3 quarters of the game. Gordon on LaVine. Dish off to Green. Back to Gordon. The Rockets are making new changing of the passive skills. Porter Jr. around Caruso. What a jam right around the back. And you're down by 1. This looks like Kevin Porter Jr. was right around it. Saying, nope, see ya. That goes gone. A tremendous mobile 1 drive for the Rockets. LaVine back to Caruso. Now go back over to Donovan. Donovan again. And he is picked up. No foul called on the Houston Rockets with the foul of the shooter. Porter Jr. on Caruso. Looks back over to Green. Cover over is Senga. Back to Smith Jr. Smith Jr. on LaVine. 6 to shoot. Rockets needs to get the scoring right away. And foul called on the Chicago. Vucevic is first personal. And another team foul for Chicago. That will be Smith Jr. at the line for 2. Smith Jr. was really saying that I am not quitting here. He really has gotten a lot of plays and he could try to keep it going. I don't know what to tell you about this one here, but he might have to stick it up. For most concerns, he needs some help. Another free throw percentage coming up here for the Houston Rockets. Just only 1. The second one is in for Smith Jr. Smith Jr. has a bunch of good plays in this cover. In this most part of the game, he's got a lot of it going in. Jones Jr. is checked in for Alex Caruso. And he only makes 1. That's Smith Jr. Just 1 free throw. Oh, here's LaVine. Showtime! LaVine, a 2 slam dunk. He's a remarkable player, Meatphone. He is. 2 in a row in the first and second half. My gosh. How can LaVine try to settle down? He never slows it up. He doesn't show what he's got. That was an excellent feat of the slam dunk of 5G AT&T Slam Cam. Gordon for 3. Back in again. And they're down by 1 as Gordon is picking up his run. They're trying to shut them down. to go with the revenge here after a Season 2 loss of the Bulls. But there might be a chance to put a putback around here since 5 seasons. They're sure enough to keep an eye on them. Williams, drive, rejected. That goes the other way to try to save the day for Smith Jr. Stop the clock and bring the one to play. And now new changes are coming back in. As right now, DeRozan is checked in for Jones Jr. and Williams moves over to point forward. LaVine, back to Dosunmu with the shot. They couldn't get it back here for Vucevic, and he goes right back the other way. Green on Dosunmu. Look around, and a drive, and scoops, and he makes it number 2. The Rockets are back in the lead. Switching back in offense is not going to make that much change. They need another way to get right over it. LaVine back over to DeRozan, back to Dosunmu. Looking back outside, DeRozan. LaVine for 3. Coming! And back up down by 2. DeRozan slithering it up here to try to help LaVine out. They're going to need to try to go quick to quick. Green! Connection on the other hand. Back up by 1. This is a tight battle. Raging out. They need another way to get over it. DeRozan again, and he's fouled by Eric Gordon. That goes with the number 10 foul on Houston, and Eric Gordon with his first personal. That playable was a remarkable run here for DeMar DeRozan. They really are trying to sketch him up again, and they need another way to go right around it. First free throw is dropped. Now the new changeup for Dragic is bringing in for Dosunmu as he's checked out. The player of DeRozan might need to give that one a good changeup if he wants to get right in it. Eric Gordon is checked out. Martin Jr. is checked back in. Two free throws, perfect for DeRozan. They're up by 1 and first bucket. Now the Rockets will make a timeout call with 2:24 left to go. With the upcoming games here of the NBA, let's have a look and see what's going on the next part of the game. For the next part of the coverage of this game, we will have another one that will be giving you off here for the players of this game. We will have is the Jazz, and they will be playing at LA to face against the Lakers of LeBron James. And then we will kick you off here for the Game 10 of Bucks vs. Kings at Sacramento, California. And then we will take a break and we will go right into the All-Star game of the NBA All-Star in Utah, where they have started here before for the first All-Star game. They know that one's true. They are really the top teams, and they really wanted to get into this one. And I'm seeing things, a lot of great moments. Hopefully there might be another change up here. And you may never know, they're definitely going to be on a true rundown like they ever know before on top things. And with that one, we go right into New Balance Player of the Game. This one in the game goes out to Io Dosunmu. Dosunmu really seems to be having a little difficult strike, but thanks to last season, he got 8, and he's really well performed. Martin Jr. covered up by DeRozan. Now back to Martin Jr. Thanks to Allen, of course, to talk to Billy Donovan. He is making the biggest moment of this game, which are lifted off the moment. He is making a big steer for this game. He's really trying to keep the players on offense and try to give it off when they're down. And hopefully, they on the other end will be giving up to another one. Three-pointer. Oh my goodness. It looks like Jalen Green wants to get everybody loud and try to face off with the revenge out there. They're seemingly like they are on the way to try to stop the revenge here because their team is not just enough to go with a dramatic play. Well, the team is not really successful to make that one a fair play in the ability. Hopefully there may not be another one to get that one lifted off by anybody. Chicago trail by 2. Finds DeRozan. Looks over to LaVine. LaVine over to Williams. Fades to Dragic. We're just coming down to 2 minutes left. Williams for a little wide open look. No rebound connection for Vucevic. Green is on LaVine. Make a move. Just a second. And put it in. Yep. You know that Porter Jr. was going to deliver it. And second with the assist. They're off to a straight on targets. Watch out now because they are on the move. Dragic outside. LaVine outside. Looks over to DeRozan. Around Green. Excellent D on Green to try to stop the player on the mound. Green is strong. Green's perfect. It's really well behaved. Green drive. What a play. The moment is relieving. They're tied up now with 15 points. Lifted in again. They're just on it perfect. Oh, he went badly down with a dunk. And foul is called on Harden Jr. Oh boy, listen, the fans are disliking the calls here with the foul. To try to stop Vucevic. I mean, what is going on with Vucevic? He's trying to whip it up here with the dunk. Vucevic at the line shooting 2. Both play teams have 1 timeout left to remain. They might have a chance to go with the comeback. Free throws good for Vucevic. We've seen a couple seasons back then playing with the Orlando Magic, and with this time, he lifted up here with Aaron Gordon with the better players of this game. They made it to the playoffs here just once, but their team without him caused it a lot of backup plan and a fail was lifted off. It is true. The honest opinion about Vucevic is he's definitely making a great recital runs and may have been determining how well he needs to succeed. Well, his movement is really turning out there very well, and particularly taking a look at the ability to try to take them all pretty high. Green for 2. It's rebounded by Vucevic. And they got time to make it. Here comes LaVine. Drive is in. They're down by 3, and they're going to try to take a minute here if they want to get the three-pointer on the range. They might need something else to give this thing a well plenty credit to. Wow, Vucevic with the block. What a playmaking here for Vucevic. Great defense. Vucevic back to Nikola Vucevic. DeMar DeRozan's covered outside. LaVine for 3 to tie it. Yes! They just came back. It's a 54 game. Stop the clock at 21.3 seconds. Last time I was been called out by Houston Rockets, and boy oh boy, we got a tense matchup between the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference by Illinois and Texas. I'm sure though they're going to need to give this thing a good credit run if they want one. And yes, that's their favorite mascot, Mr. Clutch. The NBA 2K Sports is brought to you by Sprite, the official drink here of the NBA. State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by American Express. It has been a tremendous game. game here for the longest one since Chicago Bulls have already lost here in against Houston Rockets here at the United Center back in season 2. But now it's their time to rally things up. I'm pretty sure we're keeping an eyes on here to try to keep them on with a good strike ability. I'm really starting to feel that there could be a change-up out there very quickly. We may not know what will happen here. So, we'll say wish the best of luck to both teams. Here's Green, looking up, back and back in front of it. And Green, win it! No! And they're going to come up to win the game. And LaVine did it. With the game. Vucevic, for the win. He makes it in! The Bulls crush out the Rockets. Unbelievable! This is a tremendous thing that the Bulls crush. After season 2 loss, they're back to winning again. Well, congratulations out there. What a win for Vucevic. I mean, the teams are very well phased. So with that, your final score is a 56-54 win. What a tremendous game here. A disappointing effort for the Rockets and well phased for the Bulls. Well, I guess right now it's time to close things off. As we are saying good night, let's head you over to Fan for closing this game. See you guys next time. Alright there, Son of Beast, thank you very much. And for those of you wondering here, I'm Fan, and this is my part of the post-game show, but I will be showing it off to you guys how they did here. What a tremendous game here for the Bulls. They finally made a win after a Season 2 loss here with a breakable score here for the Rockets to try to take it over to everybody. And they really got a great stackability run to try to hit it off the targets. 56-54 is your final score. Field goal range is in between a neck-to-neck moment here from 51% to 49%. Then it was 45 for the three-pointers, and then it was free throw ability was 70%. Really less on that one here, but only just one miss, but gives him off an off strength of the angle of 86%. Fast break points was 9, and then 34 points in the paint. Second chance points is 6. Also following along here was the bench points with 23-18. Assist was out there with 19-14 run. Then offensive rebounds was 8 and 19 defensive rebounds for the Rockets. And with that one, both teams have a steal. It is a 3-1 block, as they may have just had to take it over from everybody who really never sees it go by. And by that point, it may be too hard to give it a deny off the target runs. 5 team fouls, 3 dunks, biggest lead of a change-off was 8. Time of possession was only 12:37 for the Bulls and 11:23 for the Rockets. Now it's time to meet your 3-star players of the game. First up we have here is I will have it over to Son of Beast to bring it back in action. You bring up your 3-star players of the game. Alright, thank you very much here. And with, of course, Me Phone and I will make a discussion here. Let's start with you, Me Phone. Alright, let's get this thing a go. First up here for number 3, we got a one tough call. This one goes out to just the player that gives them off. Alex Caruso. 9 points. Made 3 pointers at 3. And just only 5 that missed out with the target range. But still got a pretty good recent amount of scores. He's all quiet alone. He's definitely really well at this phase. Now let's send off to number 2. Number 2, it goes out to Jalen Green with 15 points, 2 rebounds, assist, and a steal. And just only 3 out of 3 three-pointers that made him a great look. 6 out of 10 field goals, and just only 17 performance run. That gives him off a good quality rank to give that one a good run. And now, your number 1 for you, Son of Beast. Well, this one all has to be the master of it. Well, I'll tell you why. Because LaVine is really up for it. And you know, the one and only Zach LaVine. Yeah, we always give to that one. Because he made a great dunks out there, 2 in a row. And 20 points was definitely the one that he did. 1 assist and 2 rebounds. Only made 2 3-pointers here. And just a 9 out of 14 field goal range. They're really out of nowhere to find him where he was going for. Well, because of Zach LaVine, he's definitely the king of here on the Bulls. Without the player of going professional here for Jimmy Butler, Zach LaVine may have it all, down to his ability to give it all he has. So with that one, that is it for the 3-star players of the game. Thank you all for tuning in. This is Son of Beast along with me, Phone. Thank you for joining us here. Back to you, dear fan. Well, good night here in Houston anyway. Thank you very much there, Son of Beast and me, Phone. I'll see you guys here for the next couple games. Thanks, you two the same there. Alright, so this one is only one player, and the New Balance player of the game was Ayo Dosunmu. It was only 4 points, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Not quite enough to give this thing a good run, but just a block that he just tried to reject it and take it away. So with that one, a 56-54 final score was definitely a tremendous game here to see the City Court here to take on the pressure of this one of this season. So with that point, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to Son of Beast's channel if you haven't subscribed or have subscribed already. Thank you very much. And with that one, make sure to follow him on his social media here. Links are in the description. Keep your eyes tuned here for the next game as we will have the Jazz and Lakers at Crypto.com Arena. The next commentary that we will have is I will have a take a look here for my only players at this possessive of time. This time, it will be me. I will try to do the best thing I can. And at that point, I will have it along with the sideline reporters. We have here is Silver Spoon. And of course, remember here are definitely the better ones I really like to see. This time is we'll give things off here a 1 mechanical run here ability. Light bulb. So with that one, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to give this one a subscribe button, because if you don't, somebody will. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace out, everyone, for a while as the NBA2k23 dial. See you all next time.
If you don't, somebody will.